United Sports of America.
United Sports of America.
United Sports of America.
United Sports of America.
Boom.
Thanks, man. You guys are awesome, dude. We out.
United Sports of America here with Jason. He's the quarterback for Howdy Coalition. Just ask him a couple questions and interview him. So Jay, just tell us about your trip to Orlando, just in a nutshell, how it went and what you took away from it.
Trip was successful in my eyes. I mean, we came up short, unfortunately, but I feel like we came away and established ourselves as one of the top teams in the country, 8-man wise. People knew us, some of us at Bay King, some of us at Wolf. It was really our first major big tournament as Howdy Coalition, and like I said, I felt like we came away from it opening people's eyes and knowing that we're for real.
What's one of the best things that you learned from that tournament?
I mean, one of the best things I learned, man, is basically, there's some great competition out there. And it was nice to go in and see that we could play with anybody. We played some tough top teams, and we came away with it knowing and seeing, we could play with anybody in the country, man.
Tell us about the Howdy Coalition offense, the different pieces on offense, from linemen to receivers, and just about who's on the team and what they bring to the team. In a nutshell, I know there's a lot of players on there.
I feel like we have one of the best, if not the best, wide receiving core in the country. Our offensive line is versatile. We can attack you in many ways. Guys can block, guys can go out. We're a traditional pro set team, but I feel like we can attack you and adjust and run many forms if needed. So I feel like we can do a lot. We're very versatile.
What's the Howdy Coalition's playing a lot of tournaments? What's the next tournament, or at least for the rest of the year, what do you have planned out?
So our next major tournament is going to be Battle Seattle, late August. After that, we got a couple local tournaments we're going to be doing, kind of tune-ups, and then Battle LA in early December. I'm sorry. So that'll be it for the rest of the year, and then we'll meet sometime after that to get ready for next year. We definitely plan on making a couple East Coast trips next year. So that's the plan for now, though. Seattle's next.
Traveling's tough. There's a lot of cost involved. There's a lot of, with work, people's work schedules, families. Mm-hmm. How does an 8-man team with so many players gather together and make that work to go on the East Coast or Midwest or wherever?
It's hard, man. It's honestly the hardest part of doing this. You find who you want, who's on the team. And there's myself, a couple other guys help do it as well. But it's the hardest part, man, staying on guys to get their hotel, their airline. Some guys wait till the last minute. Luckily, some guys get it right away. But it's hard, man. Traveling with 20 plus guys is hard. It's hard to do. But like I said, man, we make it happen.
8-man, you're one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. There's no even debate about it. I know 5-man's big on the West Coast. We have big tournaments, cash prize tournaments, 4 or 5-man. How are you adjusting? You're playing in Battleground, which is on July 22nd, next week. How do you adjust with the players that you have and make that work and make it competitive?
It's definitely a big adjustment. Smaller field, timely throws. It's there's a lot of more gimmicky stuff in 5-man. It's definitely different. We got a couple guys, myself included. We want to get more serious in the 5-man scene, and we're gonna see what we can put together. Kind of, learn the game more, so I can kind of understand what kind of offense to put together, defense to put together. So definitely be seeing a lot more of us in 5-man scene going forward as we try to establish ourselves there too. It's a process, man. I know it. There's a lot of teams that know the game and know the thing. We're just learning, and hopefully we can get up there with the ranks of you guys and some others. Dream team, I know, soon, man. So it's a process, but looking forward to next weekend for sure.
Been doing a lot of rankings on Facebook, and it's getting a lot of interest from a lot of people from all over the place. And people are a little scared to say, their rankings, so they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and stuff. In terms of quarterback for 8-man, where do you see yourself in those rankings say top? Do you think you're top 5? Do you think you're top 10? Do you think you're?
Yeah, I definitely think I'm in the top 5, top 10 for sure. There's a lot more quarterbacks in the 8-man that are more versatile than I am, much more established than I am. You know, you got the quarterback from the EO, etc. But I feel like I'm up there, but definitely quarterbacks out there much more versatile, much more accomplished as far as tournaments and travel-wise. We're just getting, you know, started with this traveling thing, you know, to the East Coast rather than just playing on the West Coast. So, again, I feel like I'm up there, but I know there's much more established, legit quarterbacks out there than myself.
There's a lot of. You've been playing this game for a bunch of years. You've seen a lot of teams. You've seen a lot of players. What's one player, whether they're on your team or on a different team, that you've seen that you just said, "Wow, that's one of the best flag football players I've ever seen"?
There's a couple guys, man. One, I don't know his name. He's a quarterback that plays with San Diego's Nas team. I don't know his name. He's a tall, light-skinned dude. He's very versatile, man.
Okay.
But the one guy, honestly, that really kind of blows me away is EEO's quarterback. I mean, he's a tall dude. He's got strides. He's quick. He's got an arm. And he can also play defense and be a damn good cornerback. You know, you got to respect guys that can do that, man. You know, be the head of the offense and come in on defense. And, I mean, he was guarding Jimmy out there in Florida. And Jimmy, to me, is our best receiver. That's a tall task, man. So he was able to hold his own, and that's impressive, man. So I would have to say EEO's quarterback, man.
United Sports America here. I'm here with Rashad. He's quarterback for the. Are you quarterback for the Goon Squad too?
I am quarterback for the Goon Squad too.
And
yeah.
a 7-man team in Sacramento called the Refugees. One of the best teams, the best team, not one of the best teams, the best team in Sacramento and probably all of Northern California for 7-man. Tell us about your team, Refugees. Tell us about Goon Squad and what you guys are doing here, and then tell us about Seattle.
Awesome. So our 7-man refugee team, we've been around for about maybe 5 or 6 years. Literally started from nothing. First couple seasons, won 1-2 games maybe, and then after that we just started developing our chemistry. We went on this unbelievable run of winning, I think, almost 100 in a row without a loss. It's like 8 or 9 division titles. We recently just went to our first tournament back in January. I think it was United States Tackle and Flag Football Tournament Nationals. We ended up getting second place, which is great for us, but at the same time it was kind of like a downer, so we're kind of excited to go back there. As far as 8-man goes, it's literally my 3rd tournament playing with the Sacramento Goon Squad. I'm more of a traditional, you know, see the rusher coming, I get 10 yards to throw the ball. So this is a little different, but I really enjoy playing it. And I'm also looking forward to Seattle. Hopefully they have a 7-man, but if not, we'll hope to at least make some noise for 8-man up in Seattle.
Flag football is big everywhere, East Coast, Midwest. What are your thoughts on how to grow flag football in the Bay Area, Sacramento, all of Northern California?
Me personally, I think it's just having it to where it's accessible. A lot of us have kids, we have full-time jobs, most of us work throughout the weekends. We just have to be able to make it accessible for everybody. We have to offer it all times of days and times, just so that way we get more. I kind of see it like dying. A lot of teams are, get down over there. A lot of teams are now moving to the travel. They don't want to really play in the leagues, which it sucks for the league aspect because you want to continue to play. Tournaments are only a dime a dozen. You only get 3 games, 4 games max. You don't get that continuity. So I think if we just offer more of what the guys want to play, we'll be able to grow it that way. We just got to offer it. If we don't offer anything, I don't think we'll be able to do it. It's really what I'm trying to do in Sacramento too. It's weird because in the Bay, 5-man is huge, 8-man is huge. In Sacramento, they got one league Gridirons, which is just the cream of the crop, but then there's nothing else. For 7-man, they have Roseville, they have Folsom, they have West Sac, so it's a little bit bigger, but the competition is that we can't go anywhere outside of Sacramento. So it's kind of, it really sucks at that.
Last question. I was talking to you and you said you coach women's flag football. Tell us about the women's flag football and how to get more women involved, not just for women's flag football, but co-ed flag football.
Yeah, so I currently am the assistant coach for a team called Evolution in Sacramento. There are a great group of girls. They all have the passion for playing, which is something that we can't duplicate anywhere else. Many of us out here today, it's because we love the game. It goes the same for the women's. Co-ed and women's we don't push it enough. I think we focus too much more on the men's. And a lot of men don't want to play with the women's because they feel like it'll hold them back. That's definitely not the case. My team will probably be 2 teams out here. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh,
they are way rougher. It's watching them play is unbelievable because they're worse than us. I'm telling you, they're worse than us. But they have to do a better job at doing leagues too. There are none. There are no leagues for women's. I know that you guys are doing a great job with the co-ed. I see that all over when I go to different tournaments. So a lot of co-ed, but there are no women's leagues. There are none. So I'm hoping to actually change that this coming fall by offering just a 4-on-4, 5-on-5, just more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see how that kind of works out, but they got to have consistency too because they only have, as of right now, I think 2 tournaments that they have planned. And so I'm trying to get them to go to Seattle, and I'm trying to get them to go to LA, and I'm also trying to get them to come out and play in one of you guys' tournaments too. So.
That'd be dope. United Sports of America here with Chris from Gridiron Gamers. This is going to give us a heads up on 8-man in the Bay Area, Sacramento, and his upcoming tournament in Sacramento in September. So tell us about Howdy Coalition and how it formed up and what you guys are going to plan on doing for the rest of the year.
We got put together in January, a little before January. We're just trying to come and put a good team together with the Bay Kings and Sac Woodpack and trying to get ranked, trying to get to the #1 team in the nation. We got a great group of guys, and we've been doing good. Didn't do well as we thought in Orlando, but we should have took that. And we want GU, want Dirty South. Will's talking all that mess, so hopefully see them in Seattle. It's a great event right now, a little warm-up tournament for us. We got the Capital City Showdown coming up in Sacramento.
What do you think you guys need to do to overcome that hump? Like, I know you guys went to Orlando, you guys beat some really, really good teams. Yeah. What's the next step to win the whole thing versus coming up short?
I think our endurance, it just was an endurance factor when we was in Orlando. Those 3 days, we used to play in 2 days, and I think that was a little factor, but pretty much we right there, man. We could have won that, like I said, and hopefully we win this today. We 2-0 right now. This day's not over though, but just stronger than last games, be stronger, and try to finish. We always trying to finish. That's our, we pride ourselves in the finish. We just have to finish, man. We right there. So this is a good step to that.
There's a lot of leagues in the East Coast, a lot of tournaments, like almost every other weekend. So these teams get a lot of repetitions, a lot of work. Whereas over here, these tournaments are once in a while, and you guys don't get those reps that those East Coast and Midwest teams get. How do you overcome something like that, still compete with those excellent teams?
We practice like twice a month, and practice for us is competition. We got one of the best offenses in the nation, top receivers like they saw in Battle Orlando. We got some of the top receivers in California, if not the best receiving corps. Best defense, I would say, in California, and they saw that in Orlando. Our defense is top notch. Some of the best DBs. So at practice, it's competition. Always competition. And that's what we want to do. We bring competition. We scrimmage. We got probably the best quarterback in California, in Jason. Like I said, top receivers. And the practice, we practice like we playing the game. So,
in Seattle, is there a different team that you have than you had in Orlando, or is it the same team, or any new pieces or missing pieces?
We might have a couple of our players missing. We gotta go probably pick up a couple other guys to come. You know, in tournaments you can't have everybody every time. So, you know, we're gonna have to pick up some new guys. We got some new guys out here with us today, and seeing how they do, and they looking good right now. So we're gonna see.
You run an excellent league. We see all the pictures in Sacramento, Gridiron Gamers. Tell the people where they can see your stuff, your pictures, your videos.
You can follow it on Facebook. If you want to sign up, go to gridirongamersfootball.com. It's an instant page to sign up. We got the Capital City Showdown coming up on September 2nd and 3rd. It's already pretty much registered. I'm only taking 8 teams, $2,000 cash prize. Already got 7 teams looking for one more team. So, and 2 of these teams out here today should be in it. So, and it's going to be a good event. Going to be on a turf field. Coalition's in it, so, hey, who won it? It's $2,000.
Awesome. I'm here with Vu, Howdy Coalition. He's going to tell you his name, who he is, what position he plays, and what he's about.
Vu Nguyen, Howdy Coalition, linebacker at times, but I do everything, just have fun out here. That's pretty much it, man. Just play flag football and have fun as much as we can.
There's a couple big tournaments coming up, Seattle, Battle California. Are you guys going, and where do you see yourself or your team in those tournaments?
Well, in any tournament that we go in, I think we're going to be competitive, at least top 4. That's always our goal, to get top 4. And if we do that, anything can happen. But we got Seattle coming up and Sacramento in September. Seattle is what we're looking forward to, just because a lot of guys haven't been out there. But yeah, next 2 tournaments is Seattle and then Sacramento.
There's a lot of talent on your team. People, opposing teams, people watching, they see an Asian guy out there and they're like, that's the weak link. Like, let's attack that guy. How do you combat stuff like that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's been like that since I've been a kid, man. So for me, it was ingrained pretty early to always be the first one to talk smack. So if I catch them off guard, if I am always talking smack from the get-go, most of these dudes, they probably won't say nothing to me the rest of the game. But I mean, it also holds me accountable, because if I talk smack, I'm gonna have to perform. But you know, it's all in fun. Leave it on the field. Most of the time after the game, we just shake hands. So it's no harm, no foul.
Sacramento is big on 8-man. How do you see the sport growing, not just in Sacramento, but in the Bay Area? Like, what needs to be done to grow it? Because on the East Coast and Midwest, they have huge tournaments every month, every other week. How do you think we should grow 8-man?
Well, honestly, you guys are doing everything right. I've been playing flag football for a while now. I'm one of the older dudes. And back then, we didn't have social media. You know what I mean? Social media is a huge part of growing this thing. There's tournaments all over the place. We used to just stay local, but now with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, we hear a lot of East Coast teams' names. We were able to get those dudes out here. We weren't out there. And 5-6 years ago, that wasn't happening. Vegas was the only tournament that we thought was the big one. We didn't think anything of the East Coast. But now, you know, we're making plans to go back there. They're coming out here. So that everything is on the right track, and you guys are doing a great job.